Hi, everybody. What's up? What's going on? It's been a little bit since I've streamed for several reasons. Look, that's not why we're here. Today, we're here because we're playing a little game called, well, the game isn't called Blinks. These little things are called Blinks. So we're just going to finagle that and see what that's about. I have Ishmael on the call with me right now, who's going to help me figure this all out. So that's what we're finna do.
Hey
Yeah.
Sheena,
Hey, what's
thanks so
up?
much for having me on the call. It's kind of a really big time for us, Move 38, because we have like 1,400 people who are receiving, the Blinks game system right now. And, we have a bunch of booklets in the box and everything like that you'll see when you open it up. But, I used to be a teacher and I care a lot about offering different ways people can learn. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a great way for some of the visual learners out there to come back and watch the stream after they check out the booklet and have something they can follow along with
Right.
while we play and kind of see your like true first experience to like even seeing the way that it works and opening up the box and everything like that. So thanks so much for inviting us to your space so that people can discover the world of Blinks. It really means a lot to us.
Well, thank you for allowing me to do this. I mean, I don't get much opportunities like this. So this will be hopefully not a disaster. I'm feeling a little upset
We'll
about
figure it
this
out.
camera, but I'm feeling excited about this game. I was trying to get my husband to play with me with it, but he's camera shy. So,
No, it's all right. We'll get there. And at the end of the day, we're just playing games. We're hanging out. So, what people see, I'm sure they'll be able to tell from like your voice and like the animations that we're having a good time. And in terms of the camera thing, maybe it's just karma because I refuse to show my. I'm out here, like I promise you, like I'm out here in a thick bathrobe and shorts, and
I'm
my
in
hair is
shorts
completely.
too. I was thinking about wearing jeans, but like why?
But the contradiction here is just like 50 degrees out here. So like my mom always yells at me for wearing a sweater and shorts. And it's like, yo, if you're cold, just like wear sweatpants too. What's up with this shorts business? So I'm like, but mom, it's like my legs are not cold. Just my chest is cold, and it's this whole fight of, well, your whole body will be warm. But that's the situation right now. So it's karma. My hair is currently unbraided. It's a mess. So the phone was like, well, if he's not going to show his face, then
Then
I'm not
you're
working for
not
she.
either. And
Is
that's
obviously
okay.
off. But it's all right. So this is the Blinks game system, right? So the Blinks game system is every single piece is kind of like a games cartridge because it has a game installed, but you put all of the pieces together and you can play and interact in this, like you create an interactive board where you can play whatever game and the many different styles that you want. And the more pieces you have, it's like the more playable, it's like the more controllers you have, right? So right now we're looking at 6 pieces and Sheena has 18 in total. So we can do some really crazy stuff
I,
because with 18 pieces, you can often play with like up to like 30 people depending on the game that you're playing. So
oh, that's what's in these
yeah.
other boxes.
hmm So what we're going to do is, Sheena, you can feel free to go ahead and tear apart all the boxes like Christmas morning. We'll get all
Okay.
18 pieces out, and then we'll get started with playing our games. And while you tear apart the boxes, I'll start doing some more explaining,
Dope.
just like the game system and everything like that. So, you have 18 pieces. That means you have 18 games, right? So, like, once you take all the pieces out of the box, and it's not like in this boxy thing, you'll realize that like they fit vertically in a roll that you can have in your pocket. So for me, I'm always carrying like 18 games in my pocket wherever I go. And there's like 18 tabletop games, 18 board games, right? It's like a futuristic version of a deck of cards. So it's really cool because like you put the blinks together and then whatever game you want to play, you just switch to that game. So it's one board, 18 games, and it's gonna be really awesome. It's gonna be really crazy. And the
Hmm.
biggest thing about this stream is a lot of people are seeing this for the first time, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to take you from like the very, very first, what the heck am I looking at, to by like half an hour into the stream, you're going to be an expert, and we're just going to be playing games with each other. And
Yeah.
and I see in the chat like a lot of people have got just this year, whether it be because like they're bored at home, and they're trying to find things to do with their family, especially as they disconnect from screens. Like, I really love playing my Nintendo Switch and my PlayStation, but after looking at Zoom calls all day, I just kind of want a different way to play games. So,
Yeah, I see. Okay, okay. No, keep going.
so I see you're looking at the box. I really appreciate you showing the box around.
Connect
Um,
pages.
the team worked really hard on getting the box to look nice. And, one thing that I'll actually plug is we have a Kickstarter launching on Tuesday of our brand new 6 games. So right now you have the first 18 games. Right now we have, after Tuesday, we'll be up to 30 games, right?
Ooh.
So is it all right if I share with you the link on Discord of our upcoming Kickstarter? And then people
Please. Yeah.
can because I'm really proud of the work that our designer did on coming up with our new box. It was inspired off of Little Big Planet, which is one of my favorite games. Awesome. So I see you going to work.
So wait, I can open this. I can
Yeah, you can open it. You can open it however you want. Samurai sword, blowtorch. Blinks are indestructible. They'll be fine.
I don't be knowing how to open boxes. Good thing my husband's not here because he'd be so frustrated. Just open it, Shayna.
Just open it apart.
I'm like, I'm trying.
Take your time.
Hybrid between.
It's rare I get to see unboxing experiences like this, so this is actually really cool for me.
So we got a little sticker thingy.
Laptop sticker.
Core game instructions. I gotta read this book.
Nah, because that's why I'm here.
Hey, okay, no reading.
Then again, a lot of the game instructions are extremely helpful for the people who learn. Like, I'm an audio and visual learner, so things like this stream are extremely helpful for me to get up and running. But the instructions are super comprehensive and really good for getting started. And let me make sure I plug this as every single game. Like you can read the booklet instructions, but we also have 1-minute YouTube videos on all of the games, right? So on our YouTube page, Blinks by Move 38, you can watch a 1-minute video and quickly learn the games, or you can skim through the book for that particular game and learn, or you can have a call with the chief financial officer, because why wouldn't I call all 1,400 people, right? So
what am I gonna do with all these pieces?
Oh, I'll show you in just a second. So real quick, just so that people understand how to package them, like after you're done playing, because I feel like that's important since it's starting to look a little clunky. You see that black and orange roll there?
Black and orange.
So it looks like an iPad roll, right? It's just I
don't own an iPad. I don't know who she is.
Yep, it's in your hand right now. So I'm going to show you how you package the games right now. Just so people understand how it works,
Can I? I'm still opening up this box. I tell you, I'm slow.
No, take your time.
Take your time. You're going to regret saying that.
Now we got to fill up this time block. We got to fill up the 2 hours. I'm totally free. iPad, never heard of her. We got some
I don't be... Yeah, okay. Trolls. iPad, yeah, I don't draw. I don't got kids. Like, why should I have an iPad? I watch movies on TV.
Sounds like Shaggy. iPad, it wasn't me. Nope.
Yo, if this box don't open, bro. Okay, I got it. Okay.
So, and the cool thing about your camera right now is it's kind of focused in on the back of the Blinks, which on the back of every single piece is the game art, so you know what game you're about to play, right? And then, once we get to the point where we're switching games back and forth, that's how we're going to identify what game we're going to play next.
Okay, so real talk, the real reason why I'm learning how to play Blinks, guys, is so when my husband's like, oh, what are we gonna do tonight? And I'm like, let's play some Blinks. And we finna turn up. Because when I Google Blinks, I seen somebody having a drink playing it. I was like, okay, that could be me. That's
Honestly,
me.
it's the perfect mood setter because I said it earlier. Blinks are best when there's not direct sunlight and in dim light settings. So
Mm-hmm.
you get the lights dim, you break out the blinks, and then people are having a good time. And I know I actually it's actually works in the reverse way too, where it can kind of be annoying whenever I go to take out blinks, the whole
Mm-hmm.
place just goes up in flames, and I can't even order nothing because everyone is trying to play the games that I break out. And you'll see just a second what I mean.
But
Like
then
when the
that's
lights
like,
are dim and the lights are bright, people get really excited.
wait, so these, oh, wait, we didn't even test if these turn on because I wouldn't open the box.
Oh no, it's totally cool. So we can troubleshoot on the stream too. And I really only need 12 pieces for the demo, but we'll
All right,
see.
guys, let's do some math threes.
So what we're going to do is first let's see if they all turn on, and if you could flip them all upside down, so the soft side is on top.
Oh, it is soft. Aww.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is, can you put all the blinks together in one cluster, like in one random board? And then what you're going to do is, there's a button in the center on the top, right?
Wait, am I supposed to put this? Is this supposed to be like a stay put kind of thing?
Oh, actually, I can teach you how to use that right now. So that's our carrying case, right? So
Mm-hmm.
can you do me a favor and can you take 6 pieces and stack them on top of each other vertically and like make a tower?
Vertically. Tower.
We're going to call it the tower blinks. Yep, and put them one on top of the other. So it's like
So all of them, just one tower.
Yep. Okay, now we're cooking. So now if you could take that the carrying case and wrap it around the tower. And you see it magnetizes, and then kind of fit it in the grooves so that it wraps perfectly around. And you'll feel it fits really snug in there.
Yeah,
So that's your
it's a
carrying
little
case.
jacket. Aww, it's so cozy.
Yeah, so now the blinks are warm, like I am in New England, in my bathroom. So we call this our sushi roll case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is how it's really easy for me to put 3 of these in my pockets wherever I go, and then like this big board that we had on the table, that's 18 games wherever you go, right? So that's how we carry them around, and you can get them fitting really snug
Oh,
in there so that they're perfectly lined up and even in the angles and everything.
okay, okay. So that I mean that's
Awesome.
a game right there. Who could pack up their blinks real fast?
Oh, you'll see in just a second. But I'll talk a little bit more about that. So now that you know what the carrying case is used for, you can put that to the side and you can put all 18 back together,
Damn it!
and then we'll start playing games before you know it.
I was about ready to wrap them all in a sushi. Sushi.
I know it was fun. We have this thing called the Sushi Roll Challenge, but
Look
we're
at
not
that.
there yet.
What
So
I
one
say?
step at a time.
What I say? I knew it was gonna be a game. What I
It
say?
was a game. I made a crazy video about it.
This one turned on.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, wait. Is the exposure nice? I'm gonna dip it a little low.
Oh, that's looking real clean. Once you get it, like for a second, you have it really distinct there. We're going crazy now.
Is it
You see,
supposed
so
to?
you
I'm
you
not
feel the
freaking.
button
Am
now,
I?
right?
Yes.
So if you can turn all of them on by hitting that button in the center.
Okay, Tron. Okay.
Okay, now this is the definition of bussing right now, right? So when all
Mm-hmm.
these rappers talk about their diamond chains, this is basically what their chains are jumping. These chains are jumping like blinks. This bussing right
Hey, okay, put this on the wall. Ain't gotta
now.
call
Awesome.
Razor no more. Okay, look how
So
nice
this is
this
crazy.
looks.
So we got a lot to do over here. We got a lot to unpack. So these are blinks. They're also each piece is playing its own game right
Yeah,
now,
I'm
right?
like looking like they all have their own little
So
personalities. Oy.
in just a second, what we're going to do is we're going to switch it all to the first game that we're going to play. For a second, if you want, I'll give you a time to get the camera settings right just to make sure that what you see in real life is what you see on the screen.
I'm missing one. Okay.
I know that seeing the distinct animations can be tough sometimes, but I feel like for a second you had it with the when you were looking at the exposure.
Oh, you want me to dip the exposure a little lower?
A little lower,
Okay.
just a little bit. I think that looks good, but I want to be respectful of. I think that was about.
It's
So that you
either
can.
this is at -7 and this is at -6.
I
So,
like -6 a lot.
okay.
Is that cool with you?
Yeah, it's
Because then
fine.
it's a little easier to see the distinctions in the colors. Oh, can you put it back to the other setting just real quick?
2, 7,
Yeah.
7.
Okay. And then the other one was, yep, I like this.
Okay.
This I
Dope.
like a lot. So now we busting. So
Ooh,
now
ooh,
what we're
ooh.
going to do is we are going to play our first game. And the way that we're going to do that is, can you flip all the pieces upside down and find the piece that says wham?
This is part of the game, right? This is the hunter exam right here.
This
Wham,
is the 100 exam.
wham.
Yeah, wham is a piece that's mostly green.
Can y'all see that? Is it too dark?
Awesome. So I think I could definitely see it. I think it looks cool. So I'm going to teach you how to play your first game. Um, so now what we're going to do is that's wham. Can you flip them back upside down? And I'm going to show you now that we've identified which game is wham, how to load it onto all the other blinks. So the hardest part about wrapping your mind around blinks is how to load a game, right?
Okay, so this
And
is wham, and I'm going to make all the other blinks know that this is wham that we're playing.
exactly.
Va bene.
Because right now you have 18 pieces all playing 18 different games, and that's a little out of control. So if you can flip all the pieces back so the soft side is facing up, and have wham separated so we don't forget which piece is wham.
This is wham, and she's separated.
Awesome. So the hardest part about wrapping one's mind around blinks is understanding how to switch games, right? So the first 2 times I'm going to explain how to do it, but after the second time I think you'll get the hang of it, and then the third time I'll say switch this game to XYZ, and I think you'll be able to do it without me having to say anything.
I
And
sure
at
hope
that
so.
point you'll be a blinks master, and then I'll leave the chat. So the way that we switch games is, can you press and hold wham for 3 seconds until it spins blue really fast? So you want to press and hold it kind of hard for 3 seconds until it spins blue really fast. And as soon as it spins blue, you want to connect it to the other pieces. So now connect it to the other pieces. You have about a minute and a half to connect it to the other pieces. So we did a little late.
Tron.
Actually, no, we did it. It seems like we did it.
No?
I think we might have done it a little late.
Oh.
But it's totally fine because I didn't let you know about the 1.5-second rule. So after it spins blue, you have about a 1.5 seconds to be safe to connect it to all the other pieces. So just to be sure, remove wham.
Removed.
And click it once. Click wham once. And when it flashes red like that, it means that it didn't load properly, but that's fine because loading it again is really easy. So before we press and hold it, click all of the pieces once to turn them back on again, right? Because you want to make sure that the pieces are on before you try to install the game. And when it flashes red like that, I'm actually really glad that people get to see this. When you try to load a game and it turns off, it means, hey, I didn't load the game properly, but click me once and I'll be ready to load the game again. But I just want you to know that you have to try again, right? So these lights mean that we gotta try again, but that's fine. So we're gonna press and hold wham for another 3 seconds. As soon as it spins blue, you want to reintroduce it, and you can introduce it to the cluster wherever you want to load the game.
Okay. I'm gonna do this.
Yep. So remember, the first 2 times is gonna be like, hey, what is this new piece of technology? So press and hold, 3 seconds, now connect anywhere you want. Now
Oh,
don't touch it
yeah.
for a full 25 seconds. Um,
One Mississippi, two Mississippi.
Actually, I just want to make sure you did it correctly. So there are two things about loading games that are very important. The very first thing is you want to make sure that the blinks are on a completely flat surface. So can you double check that they're on a completely flat surface and they're not bending or anything like that?
I mean,
Oh,
it's a
perfect.
table.
So also, no, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. So the second thing is, I would be a little careful about having. I'm not sure this is an issue, but I'd just be a little careful about having light directly on the blinks. Sunlight, normal camera light should be good.
Oh, I live
Um,
in a dungeon, so that's totally fine.
okay, awesome. So I just want to do this one more time. Make sure that the blinks are loading, because it seems like we had another goof, but we'll figure it out in just a second. So
Mm-hmm.
can you remove WHAM? And
Where Wham at?
we're going to try it one more time, and then if it doesn't work like this, then we'll try it in chunks just to be safe. Um, so we're going to remove WHAM. So let's click all the blinks once to turn them on. Mhm. Awesome. Okay, cool. And just to be sure, can you double click one of them? Just like click one of them like really fast, just to make sure. I'm curious. I just want to test something out. Okay, cool. So can you click them all? Like, so what did you do that piece to make it light up like that?
I
Can you let?
just I just touched it again when you told me.
Awesome. Can you touch them all one more time? Awesome. So we're gonna get them to turn back to how they were before. Awesome. And the one that's flashing red, can you touch it? The ones that can you touch?
The one that's
So that
flashing red. They all
oh,
flashing. Well, a
the
majority of
two
them.
ones, the ones that are flashing red still. So those two.
These two.
Yep.
You want me to click them?
Yep. Just click them each once. Awesome. Just to turn them to their own game again. Perfect. So you actually corrected me on something, which is you want to click them each twice before you try loading the game again. So I appreciate you helping me recall that, because obviously
Oh,
like I load
okay.
first. I guess I never miss, huh? But
Well then,
that's fine.
well then you're welcome.
Thank you. So now if you can, now we're going to load WHAM. Can you press and hold the WHAM for 3 seconds? So well, first get it so that WHAM is on. So click WHAM twice also. So we're going to click WHAM twice. And now press and hold WHAM for 3 seconds. And as soon as it spins blue, we're going to introduce it to the cluster, and we should be good for everyone to learn.
It didn't do it.
Oh, interesting. So we're still good. So let's press and hold it for 3 more seconds one more time. And that piece is WHAM, correct? That's definitely WHAM.
Yes.
So yeah, now introduce it.
I did.
So this is when you know it's learning,
It's
which it looks
infected.
completely different than it did before. So now we don't want to touch it for a full 25 seconds. So this was my mistake, actually. My mistake was I didn't tell you to click the pieces twice. After they flash red, you want to click them one more time, and I apologize for not giving you that piece of information. But now what is going on is the code that's on WHAM is being passed on to all of the other pieces in 25 seconds. Like when it flashes green like that, the code is complete, and then it turns on to the actual game. So
So how
I'm
do they
going to
talk to each other?
aha, I thought you would never ask. You have activated my track card. No, so you know how like when you're sitting on the couch and you press like channel 34 to switch to Cartoon Network, and then the controller talks to the TV, they communicate with infrared light, right? But instead of just communicating the numbers 34 between your controllers and TV, what if you communicated the software for an entire board game? And that's exactly what just happened, right? So when we first turned on the board, they're all playing their own game. And then you press and hold a game you want to play and reintroduce it. And that code basically infects the entire board and passes through infrared light. That's its software to turn all of the pieces onto the one game that you want to play. And that's exactly how you turn down the first game that we were going to play.
You seen it? He said infected too.
Yeah, right now I got that. You see, it's 2020. It's all about the infections.
That's how zombies take over.
Honestly, somebody was saying that this vaccine could be looking like an umbrella corporation.
Now. What we not gonna do is scare the audience.
We're not gonna jinx. Move 38 is actually sponsored by Umbrella.
Wow! Imagine.
That'd be a problem. That'd be a problem for you. But so moving on. Moving on, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to play. I'm going to teach you how to play your first game because you just learned how to load your first game. And it looked really cool. And the process of the game loading, looked completely then when I give you the wrong information, right? You saw the blue lights flashing in and out while it was loading, and then it all turned to this really cool sparkly thing, which is the animation for WHAM. So before we start playing WHAM, can you do me a favor and just remove 3 pieces from the cluster? Actually, yeah, remove 3 pieces from the cluster. And I want you to understand 2 things about blinks that you've already grasped, but we're going to go a step further, right? So remove 3 pieces and click the button, but just click it in such a way that you can really focus on the feedback of the button. How hard do I have to click it to make sure that it clicks? And just focus on that and get used to clicking the button, because this game is all about clicking the button.
Oh, but is it gonna?
No, you're cool.
So I removed 3 pieces, eh? And now I have to. You want me to test the clicking the button?
Yeah, just so you can understand the feedback of clicking the button, of how hard you have to press it for you to kind of feel that click inside. Just get used to clicking it. And the next thing I want you to do is I want you to feel how strong the magnets are too, right? So put the pieces together and get a sense of at what point the magnets kind of let the blinks attach again. So this is a game that's focused on clicking the buttons, but it's also important to understand the magnets are very strong, so the blink shouldn't fly apart when I click one really hard. But obviously the magnets aren't NASA grade or something like that. So just understanding the strength of the board when the pieces are together are 2 things I really want you to grasp. Sometimes people think blinks are touchscreen. And the biggest misconception is letting people know who've seen this before, seeing this for the first time. No, there's actually a button in here. This is how hard you need to click it. These things have magnets that are strong, but not all powerful, right? So now that you understand the buttons and the magnets, so we're going to start easy mode, right? So we're not going to get out of hand with 15 because we're not there yet, but we'll work up to it.
Okay.
So to start, can you do me a favor and separate a group of 6 blinks that we're going to play on now?
So do I attach these 3 again?
Yeah, so if you can actually separate 6, so you can take those 3 and attach 3 more to them. So separate 6 pieces away, and then the remaining 12 you can just put off to the side. We'll play with those later.
She be Fury. Put that on hard. Look at Squad. She can do the hard version.
We're gonna work up to it. I am the best player objectively in the universe at this game, so if there's potential,
objectively in the universe.
Technically, because world, universe, potentially no other blinks, and moving on. So
not you explaining it.
But definitely the best player. And I have the YouTube video to back it up too. So I'm gonna show you just what I mean. So to start this game actually has a start screen, right? So to start the game, you double click a piece like a mouse, like you would a mouse for a computer. So any piece you want, double click it, and the game will start. We're just gonna watch the way the game works before we play it. And when I say double click it, I mean you want to double click that button, so you kind of want to feel that button click twice. Boom. So the game started. You see a flash of white light. Red lights are going to pop up. They're going to count down by 3 seconds. And if you don't hit them in the time that they count down, you lose the game. So that's the first round of the game, right? I just wanted you to see how it worked from beginning to end.
These buttons, the pinker ones?
So I'll let you watch it one more time. So you see how there were green lights and then red lights came up within the green?
Yeah.
And then this is basically our version of whack-a-mole, right? So
Oh.
basically, when the game starts, you want to click those red blinks before the time expires. Now I'll show you what I mean one more time. So double click it to get back to the start screen, any piece you want.
So now it's on Wham.
Yep, so it's still on WHAM,
But how
but
does it?
what we're doing is I'm teaching you how to play WHAM and to go between the phases.
Okay.
So this time we're actually going to play the game because I just wanted you to see the different animations that happen in the stages. So double click it one more time and we're going to start the game. And this time I'm gonna walk you through how to play it. So when the red lights come up, click those red lights because before the timer goes. So as soon as those red lights pop up, you want to click them. Boom. So you click them perfectly. And you don't have to hit it exactly in the center, but you kind of want to make sure that you feel that feedback of the button click. So you're already starting to play WHAM. There are two ways to lose. If you don't click the button fast enough, and you can kind of see in the animation a timer going down, you lose automatically. If you don't hit the timer, which is how we lost the first time because I didn't even tell you to click anything, right? So it counted down and you lost in 3 seconds.
You just wanted
So,
me to lose.
Well, you got to start from somewhere, right? Like once you get the failures out the way, we're not undefeated. You don't got to worry about it anymore. We can't all be anonymous. So there's another way to win. There's another way to lose, right? The other way to lose is if you accidentally hit a green instead of a red, you get a strike. And 3 strikes and you're out.
Oh,
So
I saw
now,
it flash yellow.
how to win, right? Boom. So you tested out the strike function and then you lost. So the way that you win is there are 30 rounds, right? So the first rounds, the red lights count down by like 3 seconds. Then and it starts to get faster and faster until the last 10 rounds. You have about like a half a second to click the red buttons before it's game over. So this time we're gonna play. We're gonna play to win, as we all do, and we're gonna see if we got a prodigy who can make it through all 30 rounds. And I'll see what we're working with over here. So now that we're on the fail screen, you want to double click it again to go back to the start screen. And the cool thing about the fail screen is it lets you know what piece you messed up on. In case if you're wondering like, oh, how I died. So the pieces that are like pink are the ones you messed up on, and that's just for context. But now we're on the start screen. To start the game, recall you double click and then you start the game. And let's see if we can make it past all 30 rounds on 6 pieces.
It's too much pressure, bro.
I think you go for it. Y'all out. Channel the inner LeBron.
Who?
LeBron, the
Yeah,
second best player.
I know LeBron James.
I just want to make sure that I don't know if you're one of those LeBron better than Jordan people. I'm not trying to start fights up in the chat.
One of those. Is that basketball you got on the TV? Again?
Is this basketball?
Basketball again? Will
I'm
the
gonna keep
Lakers
moving.
win? No, it's game 7. I don't know shit. like is
It's
it?
bad basketball.
They taking so long.
My mom still thinks Michael Jordan plays probably. He was watching The Last Dance and said, "Oh yeah, he's on the."
Not anymore.
Mom was a while ago, but we're actually doing pretty well. I'm getting a little nervous out here that in your first serious attempt you might actually win. You see it starting to pick up in speed.
I mean, it's picking up, but I can handle it.
You built for it. Okay. I'll remember you said that though. It's like The Walking Dead. Ishmael will remember that.
I don't even know what level I was on. I wanted to count.
Nah, you gotta stay focused. Otherwise, next thing you know, and you also see that the time in between the red lights popping up also goes down. So it just becomes constant red lights popping up.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even gotten a strike yet, which I'm really impressed about. I think you're definitely gonna win soon. The thing I always say is, I see you go.
I see you what? What was that?
I see you going hard, but if your table breaks as you're hitting these blanks, like we reimburse blanks, but we don't reimburse tables.
That means I won. You see it flashing?
Okay, so once again we're back to the blanks busting. So you won, right? So very, very impressed. We got a true gamer here on the screen.
Okay,
So now I think it's time for level 2, right? Because one thing I really want you to take away from this conversation is there are many different ways to play one game. So even though you got 18 games, each game can kind of be played like 3 to 5 different ways. And we just played Wham in its most basic form.
Wow.
Like we're talking like we haven't even not my final form type stuff, right? So there, so for the thing with Wham is different configurations can feel completely different, right? So before we go there, can you do me a favor? And we have 12 blinks off to the side. Can you take 6 blinks from those 12 and put them together? And this time, instead of playing on 6, we're going to play on 12. And we're going to see how much harder it feels.
Okay.
Boom. So now we're playing on 12. You're going to realize that it's not twice as hard, probably like 4 times as hard, right? Because now you got more blinks and you got fingers, right? So now start the game and let's see how well you do at 12.
And it still remembers that it's Wham.
Yep. So for it to forget a game, you got to do and holding it 25 seconds. So it's definitely a very deliberate process of switching the game.
I just gotta make sure.
Honestly, if you make it 15 rounds on 12, I'm probably gonna I'll be really sweating over here.
It went yellow. I think I messed
you
up.
got 1 strike. That means you got a strike, but you still got 2 more strikes.
Do my fingers work? I think they work.
That was impressive.
I should have had coffee.
You actually doing really. You're actually. Okay, that was a close one.
Yeah, I'm like pressing it, but.
So the thing is, when you get faster, you kind of lose accuracy, and you kind of just hit it on the hard plastic side instead of on the actual top.
I think I biffed it. Yeah, that's why I'm like, can I hit it here? I have to hit it on the center.
You can, but the further from the center you hit it, the harder you have to hit it. And that's kind of where you start to understand, like, my aiming wasn't perfect on this one, so I have to hit it a little harder, you know? So you actually did very well.
I mean, but it's not the best, okay? We out here to win.
So let me tell you how I play, how I got really nice at this game, right? So when I play, I have all my fingers on the board at the same time.
So you cheating.
The red lights that pop up, I hit them all at once.
So you cheating.
It's not cheating. It's about, you see, not everybody built for this lifestyle, but it's a high risk, high reward strategy.
Kind of like.
If you hit all the pieces at once, you can risk getting 3 strikes instantaneously and losing instantaneously, right? So let's see how you do putting all your fingers on the board and seeing how it is, like, because it's significantly, it probably took me a couple months to get used to not making mistakes, but let's play this game again and try to have all your fingers on the board. Of course, you won't be able to cover every single piece, but it helps, like, being able to hit the red lights all at once. See how far you can get with that strategy.
So all my fingers on the board doesn't necessarily mean all my fingers on the buttons. It just means on the board.
So that, or to be honest,
no one will be able to see.
You can start with 6 if you want, but really, like, you can even try with like your first 3 fingers on each hand, and then just get used to hitting them at 6 at a time. You know what I mean?
Yes. My fingers are little though. I can't play piano.
Actually, I'm gonna get to there in just a second.
Like, this is like I can't stretch. Look how little my fingers are. They're so little.
And usually, we're playing 12 more so just so that you can understand the way that the difficulty scales. And 18 is obviously, that's when it's like really, really difficult. But we can try with 6 and see how it is when all of your fingers are on each button but 6.
So you taking me back to a remedial level.
Hey, I'm just giving you the option.
No. Let's do this. Wait. I started it.
You got it. Yeah, you're getting the hang of the double click.
Man, my finger's too little. This hurts.
So I see you're really good at the keyboard strat, which is to hit them all in succession. I play a little differently where I hit all when they come up. And the
What?
reason why I play like that is because my actual favorite way to play is versus playing against someone else. So I'm going to teach you how you can play Wham against your husband so you can compete with each other.
Here we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's only competitions. Let's see here.
So I'm going to teach you 2 more ways how to play this game, but one other way to scale is not only can you add more pieces, but you can take the pieces, rearrange. So I think the hardest way to play is actually in a straight line, because then it really kind of feels like the piano, and then it gets really crazy.
I think it'd be like insane if this had to be like a melody, like what is it? Like having to do it in a certain order.
Mm-hmm. For it to make a song.
No, to like press them like.
Oh, actually, that's really interesting. We've noticed that like 20% of people who get blinks eventually come back and make their own games. The games are super easy to code on. Like we actually have had 12-year-olds, read the code and be able to like make up games. And blinks are completely open source. I probably should have said this earlier. So the code for all of our games are, and people actually learn how to make games just by reading the code. So if that's something that you're really interested in, you can make that game and we can release it. If it's like, if it's one of our best games in our developer forum,
Huh. Code.
Mm-hmm. And usually games, like people often make games like, it's like 10 times faster to make a game on blinks than it is to make a game for a cell phone. So the next thing I want to show you is my favorite way to play this game, right? Mm-hmm. So remember, we're still playing just one of 18 games. We played it with 6, we played it with 12. We tried like different strats of how to win. We didn't win with 12, but that's fine. 12 is tough. I'm going to show you 2 more ways to play. Can you break it into 2 groups of 6, please? Awesome. And can you do it so that they're the same shape? So now we're going to really test your double click. So we're going to keep them separate, but can you start each cluster so the game starts at the same time by double clicking them each at exactly the same time with each hand?
Wow, I'm really proud of myself. Like,
so now your left is going to do one hand and your right is.
Okay, this is just too much. Okay.
Okay, DNA did not finish. That's fine. But as you can see, so that's actually one of my favorite ways to play, because when I'm by myself, like I actually have a piano, but I'm really not good at my left hand doing one thing and my right hand doing the other. So I actually really like playing this way to warm myself up before I practice on my piano. And it's like obviously it's not easy. So it probably took me a couple months before I got used to playing like this. And the best thing about this is, like, if you're at a party with friends, you can everyone can see how well they do and keep passing the blinks around really easily. And I see you're already starting to get the hand of the left hand, right hand strap. But as you can see, having 12 blinks is a completely different world versus if you can only play with one hand or couldn't scale the difficulty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You know what? This would be like phenomenal for somebody doing physical therapy in their hands.
Definitely. And there are actually a good amount of games that we've very inclusive for people who can't hold controllers, or especially for people who, if you're playing with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you, it's really easy for them to pick up and know how to play with you.
Now I really like that.
Mm-hmm. So the next thing I want to tell you is, we don't have to try this, but this is how you can play with your husband, and my favorite way to play, which is you break it into 2 sets of 6 and you start the game at the same time. But what you do is, ideally you have a referee, but if it's just 2 people, you can self-ref. The person who presses the lights the fastest wins a round, and there are 30 rounds total. So imagine, like, at the end of the game, like, if you press the lights the fastest 29 times, you get 29 points and your husband gets 1 point, And I'm sure you may have some ties in there if you don't have a referee.
Look at you foreseeing the future, okay?
What'd you say?
Look at you foreseeing the future. I'm gonna get 29. He's gonna get 1. Okay.
So, well, obviously, since I'm streaming with you, I'm trying to, stay in the positive favors over here. But yeah, it's a long stream, right? So, but my favorite way about playing competitively is that it forces you to press the lights like as fast as you can, and that's really when you start to get the strikes. When you're forcing yourself to be like a little too fast, and that's when the 3 strikes really comes into play. Because God forbid you're up like 20 and he's only won 1 round, then if you're on your second strike, if you get your 3rd strike, technically he wins even though he only won 1 round because you didn't finish because you got 3 strikes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you can play like a tortoise and a hare where you're trying to like win all 30 rounds versus the other person is just trying to take it steady and they're betting on you rushing and making 3 mistakes first. So
I see.
I have
Okay.
never lost that mode, so you definitely don't want to see me around here. But keep training and let me know once you're at
Why
the point.
you sound like a cowboy?
So let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm the best.
Wait a second.
Oh yeah, so you hacked the game. So you started one piece and you connected it to the others, and it turned them all.
Wow. Okay.
But I'm not going to teach you those secret strategies today. You're going to have to learn all those secret strats out on your. There's actually another strat where I'm not going to tell you what game right now. Actually, I will. It's honey. It's either honey or Zenfo. If you connect it to WHAM, the red lights keep popping up and they never stop, and it's actually like overwhelming. But it's really fun.
I don't want to
but I'm not going to share those secret strats today.
Okay. Okay.
Before we move on to our next game, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to tell you why I'm the best player in the world. I am the only player on planet Earth to beat WHAM on 12 pieces with only 1 hand.
Do you play piano?
I don't. I'm trying to play piano. I play blinks.
See, there's probably a reason why you the best player. You be practicing. You play piano.
So once you get to the point where you can beat 12 with 1 hand, then you're on my level. Then it's like, I don't know if you ever remember Afro Samurai.
Yes.
But you need a number 2 headband before you can come hang with the number 1 headband.
Okay.
So now what we're gonna do is.
Oh wait.
So the other pieces, if pieces that you don't play with for 10 minutes, go to sleep to preserve battery life, and that's a great time to talk about battery life, right? So your batteries, they last for about 4 to 6 months, or about 40 to 60 hours of gameplay. And to replace the batteries, you just pop open the bag, and then you get standard watch batteries that you can get at like Best Buy or CVS or something like that, and you replace them like every 4 to 6 months.
Damn, they all got batteries. They all got to be replaced. Oh, 4 to 6 months isn't bad, but.
Mm-hmm. And they don't. And sometimes they, depending on what you play with, you don't have to.
Wait, you cut out. Depending on what?
So, depending on which ones you play with, you don't have to replace them all at once. So it's not like you take the hit of all 18 at once.
Mm-hmm.
You just may happen to play with some pieces more than others, and then you replace those when needed. So it's not like in 6 months you got to replace all of them.
Okay.
Because you may find out that you usually play pieces, right? Mm-hmm. And only when you have friends over are you playing with all 18. You know what I mean?
Friends.
I relate. Moving on.
No one's here. I got my friends on Discord. Okay, so what do we do now? How do I win?
So you won on 6. You didn't win on 12. We're not going to try with 18. You let me know offline if you win with 18. But so now we're gonna keep it moving. Now we're gonna get faster. I want to show you at least 4 more games, but we'll see what we can do. Right?
Okay.
So you've learned how to use blinks, and you played your first game. Now we're going to play our second game, which is Puzzle 101. If you can identify which piece is Puzzle 101.
Found it. Dang it. This is Puzzle 101.
Awesome. So now Puzzle 101, can you include it in a set of 6 and put the other pieces off to the side? We're just going to load puzzle onto 6 pieces total.
Pieces to the side. Double click to begin.
So you can actually take one more. Well, if you want to play with puzzle, you can take one more piece away and put it off the side, because when you connect the puzzle to it, then you'll have 7. But
I should have used my brain.
Awesome. No, you're cool. You're cool. I was actually a math major, so glad I put my degree to use for it. So now, if to load puzzle onto these blinks is just like how we loaded WHAM. To load any game is exactly the same.
Double click
Press
and
and hold
connect.
puzzle for about 3 seconds until it spins blue really fast, and then connect it to the cluster within a second and a half. Okay, so you want to make sure you really press and
Double
make sure
click
that
it, eh?
button.
Or I'm supposed to
Nope,
just hold it for 3 seconds.
Yep, press and hold it for 3 seconds.
Sheena.
And once you get the hang of it, you'll never forget. 3 seconds till it spins blue fast, and then connect
Then the
it.
infection spreads.
Then wait like about 25 seconds, but really pay attention to the animations, because once those blue flashing turns green flashing, then it's like it's done, and in like half a second it's going to turn on to the game. So that's one way that you can also tell when the game's about to switch on. I just realized that it usually never takes more than 25 seconds. The one thing I definitely want to stress is you definitely don't want to be touching and moving your blinks, because the point of a flat surface is because they communicate with the magnets, right? Sometimes when it's loading, people like get really enthralled and they pick it up and stuff like that. And then in that process, it's technically not on a flat surface, and if it bends, then you have to restart the process over again. The way that I like to compare it is, if you're downloading something and half unplug your computer, you risk your computer turning off, and then when you plug your computer back in, you have to download it over again.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we're playing puzzle, and you actually put it in. So WHAM has a start screen, but puzzle has a starting shape. You actually put it in the perfect shape for WHAM.
Oh
so
my
actually,
gosh.
Yep. Can you put it in a different shape just so you can see what I mean by when it's not in that shape, what happens? So now it's like not doing anything. But can you put it back in that previous shape where like you have one in the center and the rest surrounding it? Cool. Awesome. So these blanks starter in the chat. I'm going to just put a link to our website here as well, so people can learn more about what you have. Like,
send it to me on. No, wait. Yeah, send it to me on Discord. I don't know if my bot is going to.
Awesome. So I just DM'd you on Discord. The first one I sent you, move38.com/epic, is the links to our Kickstarter, because we have 6 new games releasing on Tuesday at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So our 6 brand new games are releasing then, and we're really excited because the first 1,200 orders we're shipping in time for the holiday season, which we've never done before. So first come, first serve. We'll actually make sure we get you those games by the holiday season. So now and then the next web, actually our website there, so that for those who want the games right now, the games that we currently have, you can get those games, and then we'll ship it to you same day. So this game right here is Puzzle. To start Puzzle, can you double click the game and the one in the center? The piece in the center that's going crazy? Awesome. So we just started our first puzzle. My success rate for teaching people how to complete a puzzle remotely is like 95%. So if we go below 90%, I'm leaving the chat. So we got to make sure that we figure out the puzzle system. We got to make sure that we hit. So to start off the puzzle system, we just separate all the pieces so they're not touching each other. And
all of them.
See how our puzzles work. So, just so they're not touching each other. It's not like you have to hide, but just so we understand what's going on. So
wait, I see shades.
What did you say?
Shades.
Yeah. So, and this is why you kind of really have a perfect camera for blinks, because I can see on the stream like all the little minute, and I think everyone will really understand, especially for a puzzle, like seeing the different triangle colors is really important. So it doesn't just look. So I think your camera is really doing great right now. So can you do me a favor, and can you pick up both pieces that happen to have the pinks on them? And can you do me a favor, and can you put the pieces...
Put the pieces what?
Can you put the pieces together so the pinks are touching each other? The sides are touching each other, the pinks?
It's like Thanos.
And what are they doing now?
It's looking at me with its pink eyes.
And it's fading in and out, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So the way that our puzzle system works is you have to find the shape of all the blanks touching each other so that all the lights are fading in and out at the same time. And lights fade in and out whenever they're touching. Whenever a blue and another, it's going to fade. Oh, and one thing I should tell you is this game doesn't require any clicking. So if you accidentally click, you're going to reset the puzzle, but that's fine. Because we can load another puzzle. So if you can
Dang
put
it!
all the pieces back, what'd you say? My
I
bad for not
was
teaching you that.
trying to separate them, but they kept connecting.
So double click the one in the center again. And after you double click,
Oh.
then we don't have to click anymore. So we just generate another puzzle, and I'll tell you how many puzzles is possible to generate after we finish one. So separate all the pieces, which is just a good way to start. Awesome. And now try to find an arrangement where all of the colors are fading in and out. And sometimes it may take, like I've seen people bang out puzzles. I've also seen families of 5 take 5 minutes to solve a puzzle. So we'll see where we're going here. You know, whether we're like a big brain anime villain or family of 5 fighting with each other.
Wait a second. So how do I know when I'm getting it right? Because they're all kind of blinking right now.
So if the colors are not blinking, then it means you're not done yet. So you need to find the arrangement where all the colors are fading in and out, and it'll probably take some time. So the
Oh,
one thing
all
that
of them. Everything like.
yeah, every single color has to be fading in and out. So that means all the yellows have to be touching another yellow. You know that the blues are in the right spot because like there are only 2 blues, right? So they have to be touching each other. And there are only 2 pinks, so those pinks have to be touching each other.
I see. So this is good. And that's it. Wait, you were good. You. What?
And sometimes it may be like really frustrating. All the colors are fading in and out besides like one triangle. And then you have to like kind of blow up the whole puzzle and kind of start over from scratch and kind of see like what arrangement gets them all working again.
But it's touching, but it's not.
So you want to make sure that it's touching exactly on. So for the pinks, they won't blink unless if they're like touching like that. Because like that's kind of what I mean by they can be touching. They kind of can't be like angled. And I have to admit, this puzzle we're talking 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm a vet, so this is definitely one that we're gonna have to work together on and figure out. And if it's too tough, we'll load another puzzle. The way that the map works on this game is you can actually load over 100,000 puzzles on just 6 pieces.
Look at this. This one's not.
So that piece won't blink because it's actually connected a piece that has no color on it, right? So that yellow piece is connected, I guess, to a colorless black piece. And then, so right now there are 4 yellows not, well, there are like 5 yellows not blinking. That's because they need to be touching another yellow.
But I don't have enough.
So what I would do is, I would take so you're seeing that these puzzles aren't simple, right? Because if puzzles were, you're going to run into some puzzles that take like 30 seconds, but the fact that you can really like zone in and focus in on this, like this is a real game, you know. So what I would do is, this puzzle is definitely not super easy. I would take the okay, well, so you kind of see what you did, right? So you got one piece that had like 4 yellows on it, and you made sure that all those sides were covered with another yellow. So you're pretty close. So you're at the point where all of the lights are blinking besides 2.
But if I take you and put you up here, you're not going to be happy. And I want you happy. I want to get this puzzle!
The only thing I say is be careful not to click them because I don't want you to lose this puzzle that you generated, right?
How
So-
can I connect these two together if it's so perfect already? If that's not poetry, I don't know what is. Like,
Sometimes you gotta take steps back to take steps forward.
ew. I guess you're right.
Bars. I just think the blinks look really beautiful on the camera. I'm happy about that. So you see how
This is kind of cute. I'd play this at a doctor's office, waiting for the doctor.
I
Or
would
in a
too.
pediatrician. What do you call it? The little lounge that the kids wait.
Yeah. Usually they're playing those outdated things where like you take
Yeah.
the thing on the
Everybody be
line,
touching
you
them
take the block
too.
from one line to the other line.
You clearly want to be here, so okay. And then
Okay, now we're cooking. So now we know that blue piece can go there.
so look, they're all happy already, and this is the only one. So this one goes away, and then I win.
So
That's how you do it, okay?
so that's how it would look if there were 6 and they were all happy, you would have won. The fact you won with 5, I'm impressed. I've never seen that before.
Look at that. Look at this.
Do I have to give you partial credit on the puzzle? So what could we do? What could we do to win? What could we do?
It could be fitting in the middle here.
Yeah, I think it might have to go somewhere in the middle. So one thing that I'm pretty sure about is, you see how the one that we just reconnected is like just has one piece
Yeah.
at the end. So it's highly likely that that one piece that's blinking has to be connected to the other blink with only one yellow on it, right?
But she's happy. Look at this.
Mm-hmm. Because like a blink with only one yellow on it probably would be connected to just that lone triangle at the end of yellows on it. I mean 4 yellows on it. And the blink with 4 yellows on it, the side with like that's like half covered with yellows probably has to be connected to a bunch of other blinks, you know. So I would try to find an arrangement with the blink with 4 yellows on it. You make that blink fully happy, and then all of the other pieces will probably fall into place. That's kind of one of like trying to find the piece that is the anchor, and once you get that piece happy, all of the other ones. Because that's the piece giving you the most trouble, the piece with 4 yellows on it. So let's find a way to make that happy.
And then just work around it.
And then work around it. Yep, so I think that's a good place for it.
Look at these effing lies. Gee, please. Jay, don't do this.
We're getting there. We'll give her like another 1 or 2 minutes, and then
And then we
if
gonna
you want to
keep
try another puzzle.
and then we gonna keep getting
or-
it until we get it.
But I think you are on the right track of working with that anchor piece. Sometimes what I do is I try to get the sides of I would get the sides of that piece happy first, because when you start with getting the middle piece happy,
Oh, like in
it's harder
totality.
to work. Like, you know what I mean?
But oh no, wait, here. See, it has 3 of these, and I connected 3 of these, but there's only one triangle.
So one thing, so you see how there are like 3 pieces, right?
Yeah.
I would start with the most left piece, getting that happy instead of the middle piece, right? Because if you get
This
the middle piece,
piece?
so the blink with 4 yellows on it, if you start with the middle piece, then you have to put a blink on the left and right side of it to make those pieces happy, and that's kind of less likely. So if you kind of start like that, I think that's a good start. I would even use that approach. And what I would do probably is I would rotate the one with the pink on it. So the piece with the pink on it, I would rotate that thing.
Into here? And then like,
Nope, the other way.
now I'm confused.
So rotate the piece on the pink until it's rotate it one more time. See if you get it. Kind of so that this is definitely not an easy puzzle. We'll give it like another second. I might give you a little easier puzzle after this one. But what you kind of want to do is you kind of want to make like an angle, and by making an angle with all the yellows facing to the inside of the angle, you put one more piece into that angle, and then it makes all the yellows happy at once.
Like this?
Like that. So now instead of putting the piece with one yellow on it, find a piece with a bunch of yellows and put.
Oh, so they connect in this fashion.
Yeah. So you make a circle of yellows.
But the pink will be, the pink is over here, so you have to be up there.
So that the piece with only one yellow on it, I would move it so that it's connected. Like I would add that piece last. So it'd be really easy to make that piece happy at the end.
And
I would find a piece with a bunch of yellows on it. And okay, so do you have a piece with another blue?
but there's still.
I would put that there.
And I can't move that.
So now we're getting closer, but we're not there. But this is kind of the strategy that I would use, right? So what I would do is, you see how like the two blues?
Yep.
So you know how like you use the piece with the pink to make the angle thing?
Yeah.
I would use one of the blue pieces to make that angle thing instead. And then maybe when you kind of swap them out.
But I can't make an angle with the blue. It only fits on one side.
Well, I mean, I would replace the two pinks with the two blue pieces, and then kind of like reverse them. Reverse the spots of the two pinks and the two blues, and we'll see if it works that way.
This is far too much.
And then now we can throw in the towel, because I was actually pretty impressed with you doing.
I did it with 5.
Although it seems like the people in the chat are really rooting.
Nah, Jay's upset.
The one thing I'm happy about is like the one thing that I care about the most is when sometimes people look at the pieces, they're like, well, how is it possible that I could be occupied for a long period of time with just these pieces? And then you realize like these games actually kind of really require you to, this is pretty high-tech technology, right? So these games definitely require you to be focused. And I think you've been working on just this puzzle for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I like it. This one's a good one. This one's like I could definitely be playing this. Why don't you love me? Well, this is what I'm dealing with. And I know you go here, but then...
So you only got 2 yellows left. Oh, it's so tough. And this is what's really tough. You got one piece needing to be happy, and you kind of had to throw up the whole arrangement. So what I might do is I'm going to talk a little bit more about puzzle for one more minute, and then we may move to our next game.
Okay.
So, and the next game is actually one of our games too. So, what my favorite way to play puzzle is actually in a, right?
In what?
Is in a group where we're all putting our minds together to solve a puzzle. The way that I say it is, if we're working together to solve a puzzle and we're just fighting the whole time, then it means I gotta cut you out of my life because we're not compatible. So I think us working on this puzzle alone, like if I was there, we would figure it out. But the fact that you can work on this puzzle with a friend, with your husband, I think that's when you'll find the most joy in the game, because you may be seeing half of the puzzle come together, and then someone comes in and they help you kind of bring it home, and that's when it's like really, really fun. Another way to play puzzle, I don't like playing this way as often because I like playing it collaboratively, is I do the puzzle, and after I solve it, I time myself and I flip the pieces back upside down and scramble them. Then
Mm-hmm.
I pass it to my partner, and I'll time them to see if they did the puzzle faster than me, right? I think that way is cool because it has a competitive aspect, since a lot of people love being competitive. But my favorite way to play is actually working together with all my friends. And for a really, really hard puzzle like this, trying to figure out how to solve it. And, this puzzle alone, we were working on for like 10 minutes. And remember, um, just 6 pieces can generate like 100,000 based on the fact that there are 3 colors: blue, yellow, and pink. And each blink has 6 triangles that it can make, right? Has 6 faces that it can have those colors appear.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well,
So, I think you did a great job, Sheena. I'm happy to move on to the next game, especially with this being basically the first puzzle you've ever tried. I think
yeah,
you'll
I
have a.
should move on because this isn't about me. It's about the blanks. But I will definitely come back to this.